evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you might be. My name is Marva B. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine, and I'm so excited to have Mr. Curtis Simon here, who is the president of HBCU Go. And I cannot wait to share with you guys everything that they have going on and a little bit about him. But before we do that, I want to welcome you, Mr. Simons, to Black Link Magazine.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm glad we're able to catch up and get started. No problem.
Absolutely. Same here. Thank you. I'm humbled. So, before we get into the interview, go ahead and tell the world who you are and what you do in case they don't know.
Well, my name is Curtis Symonds. I'm president of HBCUGo TV. We've been around now for about 3 years. Myself, personally, I've been in the media business for about 40 plus years with a jump through cable industry and the ESPN for 8 years. And then with the biggest stuff that everybody knows me for is my 14 years with BET as executive vice president of marketing. So this has been a pleasure. This has been a kind of a journey that I've been on for a long time trying to get HBCU up. Thank God I had a good friend in Byron Johnson who partnered with me, Byron Allen partnered with me rather, and gave me the opportunity to really push a dream that I've been trying to push for over the last 10 to 15 years. So it's
Wow.
great. It's been great.
Well, wow. And I could say just by looking at the bios and everything about the HBCU Go is that it was well worth everything you had to go to get here because it has really been a successful project. So you've been through all the media, you've been with BET. So what was the inspiration to do the HBCU Go?
Well, I think the inspiration was that I graduated from an HBCU. I actually grew up on the campus of Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio.
Wow.
And my mother worked there for 40 years as a teacher in physical education and dance. And my father worked there in the maintenance department for 50 years. So that was a bloodline, along with my wife as a graduate of Central State. My brother-in-law is a graduate of Central State. My sister's a graduate of Central State. So
Wow. Wow.
generational, it was a lot of feel. And then when I got in the media business, I just felt that HBCUs were not, the story was not being told
Right.
because a lot of people did not know about HBCUs, and all they could hear was historical Black colleges and universities, but they didn't really know much more than that. Fortunately, it got a lot of name because on the athletic side, you had a lot of great players come out of the football world that were Hall of Famers that's coming through HBCUs. But in true speaking, people still did not know what was really the mixture, what was really the culture, what was really the legacy, what was really the history of HBCUs. So I felt that it was something that was needed in the marketplace. I think it's something that people want to hear more about. And we're seeing over the growth of it over the years is that it's beginning to educate more people on that, the legacy, the history, the power of HBCUs.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because being born and raised in Oklahoma,
Okay.
I just beat myself up from the not knowing, a lot of stuff about HBCUs. Didn't get the opportunity to attend a HBCU. I did go to college, but not a HBCU. And then as I get educated behind it, it's like I missed out. I feel like I missed out. Yeah, the
I'm hoping you
education.
wouldn't feel like you missed out. I'm hoping that you tune in to HBCU Go and then you start to learn more about it. I think that you're in Oklahoma where majority of the HBCUs are in the southeast.
Yes.
A few in the east. But it wouldn't have been something that would have been brought to your attention, especially
Nope.
in the geographics that we were at, and that's where the world has missed out because it's just been in one pocket and people have been feeling like, well, I just didn't know because I wasn't educated. No, it's not really you wasn't educated. The fact that you just didn't know what it was all about. Somebody might have mentioned it to you, and like, oh, okay, that's way in Florida. Why would I go way down to Florida? I'm in Oklahoma. So I think it's just that people weren't really brought in fully. You have to step on a campus and
Uh-huh.
understand the bloodline of an HBCU. When you
Yeah.
go to a campus and you've gone to a predominantly white high school, let's say, for example, and all of a sudden you look on the campus and 90% of the people look like you, the
Yeah.
teachers, you. and all of a sudden they're teaching you a different way and the way you grew up, but it's all embedded in developing you. I mean, the one thing that I think that HBCUs do better for Black folks who attend HBCU, it develops a culture of bonding that never walks away,
It does.
never walks away. And you don't get that in the PWIs, because you're a number.
Right.
Where at HBCU, you are a person, you are a figure, you are a person that people look at and say, I like that person because of X, Y, Z. And then
Absolutely.
it just transpires into helping you grow as an individual.
Yeah. And you're right, like all white high school, just a few of us that went, and it's
Right.
like the majority of us didn't go there. So I just appreciate that and that what HBCU Go can offer people. And I can't wait to share this video so that people are educated, even those coming up behind me, behind, our future, that they can know, even though they're in Oklahoma, there's a whole world out there besides Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's really the key. That's really the key. I mean, one of the things I try to do when I step on the campus is around the country is ask students, well, how did you hear about this particular school? And a lot of them is just like yourself, either generational, either someone had a friend of a friend that told them about it. Someone, maybe a counselor was formerly went to an HBCU and said, hey, why don't you go look at this school and really kind of experience it. But it's more about stepping on the campus than
It is.
reading the material,
I
because
agree.
that's when you get the full-fledged feel of an HBCU. Then you say, I got to be part of this thing. And then after you're there and you're on that campus, you really get the full boat of electricity that runs through you on a regular basis on why it makes sense for you
Mhm.
to attend college like XYZ.
Yeah, my husband's from Mississippi, so he definitely attended HBCU. And when I met him, he's
Okay.
like, you know nothing. I said, I know now. I
Right.
just didn't know, and he that was like foreign to him that we are not attending HBCUs. So you guys have become the nation's leading media provider for all 107 HBCUs. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so
Mhm.
tell us about that. What's that experience like, and how do you get that incorporated? Like, how do you build the network?
We have what I've been able to grow on is that it's all about building your relationships with the universities, and that takes time.
Yeah.
And so I have a director of engagement. Her name is Shannon Henderson. She goes out to she's gotten to almost every single one of the universities, helping to build the relationship with these HBCUs. The first thing that we did, though, to try to kickstart the network, Byron Allen was kind of smart on the business plan and said, look, we need to do what no one else has done, and that's put a foothold on Black college sports. So we went out and locked in the biggest conference that's in Black college sports called the SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference. That
Uh-huh.
is the big dog. Then we were able to lock in for 10 years. Then we were able to lock in CIAA, SIC, and we're
Hmm.
working on the last one, which is the MEAC, which just brought in Michael Vick, who will be now over at Norfolk State, and you have Deshaun Jackson playing for the Eagles, who's now
Wow.
coaching Delaware State University. So getting that athletics started was a good buzz saw for us. Now, what we want to grow on is the lifestyle, the educational programming, all programming that touches the HBC circle, and then try to have the real goal down the road is to try to have the university start producing programming out of the
Oh, wow.
telecommunications areas that highlight the schools that we can pass on nationally, because we're a national network.
Right.
So like you're saying, if you're in Oklahoma and you watch our network, now you get a full fledged of what Delaware State doing, what's Howard doing, what Central State is doing, because now you see programming that's targeted around the campuses that will help educate you on why it makes sense for you to leave Oklahoma and maybe come this way.
Yeah, like I see like you say, you go into the schools and you build these rapports and these relationships. Like
Right.
it just wouldn't have been so amazing to have someone to come into Oklahoma to the schools, to the high schools when people are ready to
Oh yeah,
graduate to do
yeah.
that. And so that was
Yeah.
amazing.
'Cause, if you're going, like you said, you came out of a predominant white high school out of
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you don't see people that look like you.
Nope.
Okay, that's not what you would built on.
Nope.
You had like a little core of XY students, and that's how you guys kind of stayed in your core.
Yeah.
And you branched out because you had to get involved with the school, so you know that. But when you have a core and you see how the core blossoms,
Hmm.
then that's like watching a plant grow. You plant the
Right.
seed, you see the seed just grow with these different branches on it, and all of a sudden it turns into the flower.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's exactly what you want to look at when you're looking at an HBCU.
Right.
How do you grow the seed? And
Right.
that's really, I think that's the plus.
And I feel like there's so much support, like you said, like if you go to a non-HBCU as a Black person, like am I
Mhm.
getting really what I could have gotten, even to help me be successful in my career or whatever, that I would have gotten in an HBCU? Like I'm a
See,
person.
I think that's a very good statement. See, I think that's the real misconception because I think that a lot of today's world, your parents, all parents are trying to strive to be in that middle class.
Yeah.
And in turn, that middle class, you want the best for your kids that you can provide.
Right.
And in a lot of mindset is if I send my son or daughter to an HBCU, I'm not getting that A effort at the end of the day. I'm getting a CD effort.
Hmm.
I think that's so so wrong conception because I'm a PE major at Central State University. Never taught a day in my life. I sit in
Hmm.
4 Hall of Fames across the country, big Hall of Fames in the media business. Okay.
Wow.
And so I tell people every day, it's about what you want and how you strive for it.
Absolutely.
The college is only going to put so much, but people believe if I go to Penn State versus Howard, I'm going to get a better education, a better opportunity to get a job coming out of Penn State than Howard. That's not true. That's not true.
Right.
It's really about who you are,
I think so. Yeah.
what your support level is, and who walks you through the door.
Right.
That's really what it's about.
And what you're willing to do. Like, are you willing to fight for it? Like, this is what I
Right,
want. This is what I'm going to
right,
go for. So yeah,
right.
that's part of it's about you, the individual as well, I believe. So,
And I think that, going to an HBCU versus a PWI, you also walk in the door with a chip on your shoulder. You know,
mm,
you because you got to work twice as hard.
yeah.
We're coming out of an HBCU that no one's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You got to go there and grind.
That's right.
Whereas I've spoken to a lot of students Black students at PWI. I'm thinking I come out, I'm automatically going to get it because I come out of this school.
Right.
Well, that's the wrong conception.
Yes. Very
That is
wrong.
wrong. But you have a lot of people who think like that
Yeah.
because they've been fooled in their minds that by going to this big brand, that's going to guarantee them something. No, it's all about you as the individual. And the
Yes.
one thing that HBCUs do better than any other school in the world is they build you into being a good individual.
Yeah.
So you know who you are when you step. You're not trying to
Of
find yourself
that.
out. You know who you are when you step out. That makes you, in my mind, stronger than other people think you are.
When we talk about the network and expanding the network, I noticed in the bio there was like CBS, there's YouTube, there's Fox, O&O. Like, let's talk about expansion and like you're already nationwide. So how much more can you expand and how many more partnerships are in that?
Well, we always want to grow. What you're talking about, see, like the way our network is built is we have a syndication group, we have a linear network, and then we
Hmm.
have an OTT network, which is HBCUGo, which is more of a digital network.
Right.
The linear network is we bought the Black News Channel years ago, and we turned it into the Grio. So
Hmm.
that's now like a cable network, like ESPN, MTV, and all that. The syndicated is where we go out and we take our programming and we say, listen, we've got football coming up in September. We'd like it to be broadcast on your station in Oklahoma.
Right.
So we end up getting placed on the Oklahoma station. We end up getting placed in San Diego. We end up getting
Mhm.
placed all over the country. And so
Okay.
that gives now, not only can you see us on cable and digital, you now can see us on broadcast, which blows up everybody because that's very unique. At the end of the day, when you can look in your local market, I had a parent hit me up a while back where her son went to Virginia Union in Richmond, Virginia, and she lives on the West Coast and never been able to see his son until our network was able to come alive.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
she was really proud of the fact that she'd have to fly all the way back from the West Coast to the East to see it. Now she can watch it on the television.
That's amazing. Also, I noticed that you will be distributing, if not already, you can share with me, but on the Armed Forces Network as well.
Yes, yes, we did a big deal through Byron to show our sports on the United Nations Network, as I call it.
Yeah,
Which the Armed Forces Network is great, and that's a big jump for us. And that's just really trying to
it's
one of
amazing.
the things that we're all big and trying to do more of is partnerships.
Yeah,
Is grow partnerships
right.
with big, because that helps us on the branding side. We hope to what I hope to grow down the road that we can partner some with the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, Major League
Wow.
Soccer, WNBA, so that we can build a relationship to help these students get a better opportunity to get in the doors,
Yeah.
not just from an athletic side, but behind the scenes, being
Yeah.
in administration, and being able to step into something that a lot of them love. A lot of them cherish those leagues. So it'd be nice if we could point them in the right direction.
Let's just say, for instance, basketball. Well, yeah, you got the athletes, the NBA, but there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff in the backgrounds to make
Oh
that
yeah,
thing happen. And so
right.
there are opportunities behind the scenes that people don't really think about. They just like, I want to be the basketball star. But what about all the other stuff that comes with it that there are opportunities as well?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we're trying to open up the doors with HBC Go by when we come in and do a production. We try to get some of the students at the university to help us out, from being grippers to being runners and behind the scenes doing different things for us so they can start learning the business so they can at
Hmm.
least have a resume. I worked with HBC Go when they did the Alabama A&M Alabama State game or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So the more we can open that door, because the biggest thing at HBCUs that we're trying to break the glass on is they have no direction. They have
Hmm.
no direction on trying to step out there and get in the business. So the more you can educate them on helping them find that direction, the better they're going to be.
So finally, I want to talk about the season, the football season coming up.
Sure.
What can fans expect for the football season 2025 coming up?
I think this could be, unfortunately, we can't release our schedule yet because we're just in the process of getting it finished internally. Now we have to send out to all the commissioners and get their stamps from the different
Right.
conferences. I think this will probably be one of our best seasons as far as our matchups. The goal that I've been pushing and my staff has really done a good job is building on more rivalry type games, building on homecomings, and building on classics. And I
Hmm.
think we're going to have an array of that this year in the schedule, really on our syndicated package. Our cable package will also be so because the majority of our syndicated package will be SWAC games. And
Uh-huh.
then our cable package would be more SIC, CIAA games. So
Okay.
there'll be some of the top games
Right.
that we'll be having on the air. So stay tuned. Tasha will probably get something out to you within the next, we're about a week away from announcing our schedule. But
Okay.
we've got some great games that our viewers are going to want to jump on. And I think that is going to drive more people to say, I need to be watching this HBCU Go.
Yes,
By the way.
I have a sports fanatic in this house, so we can't wait to get the schedule so we can share,
Oh, okay, good.
so he can watch. So
Where did he go to school at? Did he go Mississippi Valley or did he go
yeah,
outside of Mississippi?
Mississippi Valley.
I
Yeah.
figured that. He's
Yeah.
Mississippi guy, Mississippi Valley. That's what I thought. He went
Yeah.
to a great school. That's a great school. So
Yeah.
he,
He
we love.
majored, he actually majored in the band and music. He played football and did the
Oh,
band and music march and stuff too. We missed out on that, man. We missed it. We missed the mark.
that's the heartthrob of sports is that band. Those
Yes.
bands. Valley
Yeah.
has a great band.
Yeah.
So he's in the stomping ground. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Oh Lord, I love watching them on TV. So,
So,
how can people follow you? How can they watch wherever they are? I know that you guys are nationwide. So, for people that don't know, how can they connect?
well, they can go to hbcugo.tv is the network. They can also follow us on Facebook. They can also follow us on YouTube. And we've got an Instagram channel page too. So just check with Tasha. She can probably I'm not a big social media guy. So
Okay.
unfortunately, everybody always asks me in these interviews, well, what's your handle? I'm like, I don't really know that.
Ask
Just
Tasha.
say we're on Instagram. I can tell you we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. So
Okay.
you can find us. We're pretty easy to find.
Okay. Well, Miss Symonds, I really, again, I appreciate you. I'm humbled by these in this interview. I can't wait, like I said, to share, especially around here for these kids that are coming up. They need to be paying attention where they want to go and what their future is about. So thank you again.
Thank
Um,
you.
yes, and I hope you have a good rest of your night. And you guys, we are getting ready to go, but remember, respect yourself, respect each other. Don't forget to go follow and watch HBCU Go because we want you to do that. And God bless you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.